Hello and welcome to On the Bench. Joining us in the studio is Tony Jameson-Allen from the Sporting Memories Network and Dan Barker, our resident pundits. Thank you very much for joining me on the show. On the show tonight, we focus on the Sports Memories Network with Tony and we visit the organisation in action. We'll also be bringing you Jim Gale's weekly home workout. And in the second half of the show, we'll be chatting more to Tony about what the Sporting Memories Network offers and taking a look at how the Conference League has finished up for the season. So Tony, if you can just give us a bit of a background on Sporting Memories Network.
Yeah, sure. Sporting Memories is a charity that we established 3 years ago to help older sports fans stay connected through the love of sport, basically. So we set up weekly groups that are free of charge to attend, and they run at libraries, at sports grounds. We even have former professional footballers and former cricketers running the groups. And they're for fans who are over the age of 50 who want to meet up with like-minded sports fans to share a few stories and share a few memories. We use archive images, memorabilia and newspapers to trigger those favourite memories of either watching sport or indeed playing sport. And we bring people together, some people who may be living with memory problems and dementia, others who might have mental health issues, and some who are facing social isolation, living alone. They might have retired now and lost contact with some of their friends. And we bring them back together, and in North East Lincolnshire we focus on memories obviously of Grimsby Town and the Mariners, and the football club have got involved in the whole project. The Mariners Trust have just been absolutely fantastic in their support, and we're just at the process now where we've trained staff to bring people together at the libraries and take the project forward.
Brilliant. Well, it sounds brilliant to get involved with. We've known you for a couple of years now, probably since you started it, by the sounds of that. And it's just taken off, hasn't it? What's the kind of geographical area that you're covering now? You mentioned North East Lincolnshire.
Yeah, the project over here is funded by the Health and Wellbeing Board, and we're going to be working with the 4 libraries that Links Inspire run. But the actual network, we're working right across the UK now. We have over 80 groups running. We have nearly 30 projects with national governing bodies of sport. We're working with the Premier League and the PFA. We're working with England Rugby and the MCC. Working National Football Museum. The response from the world of sport has been absolutely fantastic.
Oh, that's great. And also, I will come to you again in a second, Dan. You've got this trophy that you've brought in to show us.
Yep.
So just talk to us a little bit about that very quickly.
Yeah, we put in for the National Football Business Awards and we got shortlisted for the Best Football Community Scheme. We travelled down to Stamford Bridge in November and we were shortlisted with 7 Premier League clubs. So we were up against Everton, Liverpool, Arsenal. Wow. And we never thought we stood a chance. We were just amazed to get shortlisted, to be honest. But when they read out that we'd actually even won the trophy, it was just the most magical thing, because not many people come away from Stamford Bridge with a trophy.
Exactly, yeah. Well, we'll hopefully touch on a little bit more about memories later on, so thank you very much for that, Tony. So our crew recently joined Tony on a day of reminiscing. Let's take a look at how they got on.
Hi, my name's Tony Jameson-Allen. I'm Director of Sporting Memories Network. We're a charity that's going to be working across North East Lincolnshire with the council, thanks to a grant from the Health and Wellbeing Board. We're going to be setting up groups with Links Inspire Sport and Links Inspire Libraries, where we're going to run weekly groups for older sports fans over the age of 50 to come together to enjoy sharing sporting memories.
My name's Derek O'Connell. I'm the Development Manager for Links Inspire Libraries, and I'm here today to do a Sporting Memories session. The libraries are going to be having some training and delivering those sessions in April with Tony from Sporting Memories, and then we'll be looking to get the sessions up and running in the libraries sometime after April. People will be able to get involved by contacting the libraries. We're going to be advertising the sessions through the local press, so it'll just be a case of getting in touch with your local library.
We're going to use memorabilia, archive images, reports and our Sporting Pink paper for people to gather at the local library and just enjoy swapping and sharing their favourite memories of either watching or playing sports. maybe watching Grimsby Town or playing cricket or taking part in snooker. Whatever your sport is, people can come along to the groups to be entirely free of charge to attend. Come along for a couple of hours, enjoy swapping those stories. But there'll also be a chance within the groups to actually try out a few sports as well.
It's a good recreational facility. You're meeting people from all walks of life, of our age. Walking football keeps you fit, keeps you in touch with your own body, so you know when you've got niggles, and whereas if you're sat at home watching the television, you don't know what's going on with your body. Keeps you good and fit. You can pass information from one another and get things put right, and the social side of it is absolutely brilliant. Keeps you smiling. My best sporting memories was when Grimsby Town played Everton and Paul Wilkie went up in the last minute of the game and nodded a ball down, and we scored a goal. We won the game. It was an FA Cup round, and the amazing thing was there was more Liverpool supporters round us than there was Grimsby Town supporters. It was wonderful because they went absolutely bananas as soon as we did, and it was a great day out, and it was just one of the best sporting memories I have.
If the public want to get involved in the project, one thing we appeal for is for people to share their own favourite memories of either watching or playing sport. Because actually memories themselves can trigger more discussions and memories for the participants. So if you go onto the website sportingmemoriesnetwork.com, you'll find there's nearly 5,000 memories from stars and celebrities and from fans of their experiences of watching and playing sport. So please go onto the website and share a memory yourself.
I like it because, you know, we're all like-minded. There's, you know, regardless of what walk of life you come from, and bearing in mind you've got headmasters, ex-masters, you've got solicitors, you've got all sorts of people here. But the one love is the football, and the great thing about it is you're all on a level. When you come here, you're on a level playing field, if you like, and that is good. And long may it rain.
So we saw there, Tony, about walking football. Just tell me how Sporting Memories Network got involved with that.
We went along and visited the guys at Bradley Pitches who just are absolutely enveloped in the whole concept of walking football. I could see how much they loved it. What we're looking to do with the guys is to run a Sporting Memories group session after walking football, because you can see just how much the guys enjoy the whole physical side of it, and the concept is absolutely brilliant. You've got guys there in their early 50s right through to in the late 70s and 80s, just really competitive football. There was a lot of shoulder charges going on, and they're really energetic. We're going to hopefully run some Sporting Memories groups after the football sessions and sometimes before, just to add in another social element, because all the guys there are big football fans, and we're really keen to talk about their own personal memories of it. So that's how we're hopefully going to work with the Links Inspire Sports Walking Football project.
That sounds great. And like you say, that, you know, there's quite a wide age range there. Dan, is it something that you could get involved in, do you think?
Most definitely. It's something that I've looked at on the internet and getting involved in. I'm a big football fan, as you know, but unfortunately I can't play the game anymore. But walking football looks like a way of perhaps getting a foot in the door back into the game, because obviously the rules are amended and there's different sorts of contact involved, which is a little bit better for me perhaps than the 11-a-side or even 5-a-side. So yeah, it's something that is very interesting to me.
Cool. And also, like Tony said, your body might give up, but your competitive edge will never go. So it's maybe something that could open itself up to a younger generation as well, do you think?
Yeah, most definitely. It's like Tony says, competitiveness will never die in anybody. So as long as there's something there for everyone to get involved in, I think it could attract a broad spectrum of ages and abilities.
Brilliant. And when are you holding the sessions at the minute, Tony?
They take place every Monday morning with Links Inspire Sport, who are running them, but we're hoping to get involved very soon.
That's great, thank you very much. So, walking football, we've got another VT ready for you down there. You can walk straight into that one.
Exactly.
Well, that's great. So later on in the show, we're going to talk a little bit more about Sporting Memories Network. But first of all, we're going to go to Jim Gale's home workout to take a look at this.
Hi, welcome to Gym Gale's Home Workouts. Over this 4th series, we're going to go through a number of workouts to hit different aspects of fitness and also to hit different areas of your body. Before we get started, we need to go through some health and safety. First of all, always warm up at the start and always cool down at the end. Also, I'll be asking you to use some equipment at home, so don't use anything too heavy and never push yourselves too hard. Okay, let's get started. This week, I'm going to go through upper body exercises. The first ones, you're going to take dumbbells and do bicep curls. If you don't have dumbbells, use heavy cans, but don't go too heavy. Make sure you're being sensible with it and you don't want to pull any muscles. Keep breathing all the way through, keep the body upright. Next one we're going to do is lateral raises. We'll go out to the side, squeeze it at the top, and again keep a nice good grip on this so you don't want anything too big, something that you can hold on to at the sides there, you're not going to drop. Keep that upper body strong and the core tight. And just keep moving. If it gets too hard, use a lighter weight. Keep breathing all the way through. Last one we're going to do. Spread the feet a little bit. I'm doing a bent row. Try and keep the chin up. Don't let it drop to the chest and keep the back nice and straight. Make sure when you come to the back, you're squeezing the muscles in the back and getting as much activation as possible. And as many as you can. Keep breathing. And that's upper body.
Welcome back to On the Bench. In this second half of the show, we'll be chatting more to Tony about Sporting Memories Network and look at how the Conference League has finished for the season. But first, let's round up with the results from the weekend. Here's Team Talk. Starting with football, and Hull City's chances of avoiding relegation were boosted at the weekend as they beat Crystal Palace 2-0 at Selhurst Park. And it was better news for Scunthorpe United, whose 2-1 win at home to Gillingham secured the Irons place in Division 1. In the conference, Grimsby Town ended the regular season with a morale-boosting 3-1 win against Aldershot. The Mariners will now face Eastleigh with over 2 legs for a place at Wembley and the chance to return to the Football League for the first time since 2010. However, Lincoln City was held to a goalless draw at Dartford, which saw them finish 15th in the league, whereas FA Trophy winners North Ferriby United also ended their triumphant season with a 0-0 draw against Bradford Park Avenue. In Rugby Union, there was only one match this week as Market Raisin and Louth and Scunthorpe came together in the NLD Cup final. Scunthorpe entered the game as heavy favourites and there was going to be no giant killing performance from Market Raisin and Louth, who went down 11-18. So the Football League season still have games to play, however the Conference League is now over and teams are turning their attentions to the playoff. One of these teams is of course Grimsby Town. Dan, what do you think their success rate would be at the weekend?
Well, after this Saturday's performance against Aldershot, it was nice to finish the season off with a win because that's always good to then take into a playoff situation. I think Paul Hurst might have 1 or 2 selection headaches now after the weekend. Ross Hannah played particularly well up front, which means it could be touch and go as to who plays on Thursday. It's like I say, hopefully we can just keep on sort of like build on Saturday's result and take that into the playoffs. I mean, we've beaten Eastleigh twice this season. Obviously, that means nothing when it gets to the playoffs. But hopefully we could be quietly confident of a result.
Do you think it's third time lucky?
I don't want to jinx anything, but I think this could be our year this year.
Fingers crossed.
Everything crossed.
So come Sunday, we could have a good result.
Hopefully, and hopefully we can start planning the trip back to Wembley.
Fingers crossed. And Tony, you obviously follow local football as well, from past to present.
Yep.
How do you think Grimsby Town's season's gone so far?
Well, they've got a chance, haven't they?
Definitely got one of those.
And a chance to go to Wembley. You know, it's a magical moment for any side to go there. They need to be back in the Football League and they've got that chance. So, yeah, fingers are definitely crossed.
And just being the devil's advocate, how do you think the fans would react? Say we get to Wembley, we get within touch and distance of it, and then it's snatched away like it was a couple of seasons ago. How do you think the fans will react to that, Dan?
I wouldn't like to predict because obviously I'm one. I wouldn't like to say how I'd act after that, but hopefully that won't happen. Hopefully we'll get there and the result will be right on the day, and hopefully we'll be back up there.
And we've also got Lincoln City as well, haven't we, that have had a bit of a funny season, mid-table finish for them. How do you think that has that gone well for them or not as well as you think?
Well, Lincoln City are in many ways quite similar to Grimsby Town, you know, a very large Football League pedigree. And to see a club of that stature doing not so well in the conference isn't great for a neutral. For a Grimsby Town fan, obviously, it's fantastic. But they've got some highlights this season. Obviously, they beat us twice, home and away, and they had another couple of good results. I remember they beat Barnet as well, when Barnet were at the peak of their powers at the top of the league. So, you know, it's a season, or another season really, of mediocrity for Lincoln, but hopefully they'll be able to bounce back at some point.
Yeah, and they can build on it from this season.
Exactly, yeah.
And then just going more local to that, we've got North Ferriby United, who over the weekend it came out quite a bit of uncertainty for the club.
Yeah, it's never nice to be in that sort of situation. You know, you take into account that 3-4 weeks ago they were, you know, national news winning the FA Trophy over Wrexham, and to be in this situation now where they're looking at voluntary relegation, it's not a nice situation to be in either for a fan or a player. So hopefully that can get itself sorted out, because obviously nobody likes getting relegated, and especially to tarnish such a good season with winning the trophy as well.
Yeah, Tony, it must be sort of go from such a high 3 or 4 weeks ago at Wembley, like you say, it's such an accolade for any team, to come crashing down. How do you think that the players and the fans are feeling at the minute?
It's got to be a tough time. You know, any football club is often the heart of the community, and what happens to that club, people really do care about it, and let's hope it works out for them.
Yeah, definitely. Well, fingers crossed for North Ferriby that we can get that sorted for them as well. And also we've got the lots of things that are going on with Sporting Memories Network. So just tell me about what you've got coming up in the future for the charity.
Oh, so much going on this summer. Bank holiday Monday, we're in Sheffield for the World Snooker Finals. We've just interviewed Steve Davis and Dennis Taylor. It's the 30th anniversary of that fantastic final. So we're going to be in Peace Gardens in Sheffield interviewing all the snooker fans. We're working with England Rugby. We're working across all the rugby union clubs in the UK on a pilot project, in England, to get young rugby fans interacting with senior club members, sharing their memories. And we're also working with schools around a memories project this summer, looking back on London 2012 and that fantastic Super Saturday with Mo Farah and Jess Ennis, and teaching school kids about the value of actually reminiscing about sport, connecting them with older people in their communities, and teaching them to actually run sporting memories sessions in the community, using a focus of the Olympics and Paralympics.
Fantastic. And you've had a lot of support from, you know, older celebrities or older sporting icons, such as England managers and things, but also you've had Gary Lineker, Robbie Savage and other celebrities that have retweeted you on Twitter, so you get a lot of support, don't you? Yeah,
last night was pretty special actually when Gary retweeted the short video
Gaza.
That we have. No mention of crisps in his tweet either. But actually the support on social media and Twitter in particular has just been phenomenal, and we do have a big following now. After we won the business awards, we actually got the blue verified tick on Twitter, which has just meant we've been able to connect with so many stars.
Raises your profile as well, doesn't it, so to speak?
It does, and raises the number of followers as well. And it's just been a great way of connecting with the sporting community.
Yeah, I remember when you were here 2-3 years ago, I asked you what your favourite memory was, and at the time, or from other people, sorry, and at the time you probably had a handful that you could have grasped at. Since then, you've probably got thousands. Is there any one that stands out for you over the years?
Do you know, I thought you might ask me this on the way across.
Not that unpredictable.
I mean, I've been really lucky and interviewed a lot of stars from Formula One and from motorsport and from football and cricket. We were at Lords and I got to interview Mike Gatting, the president of the MCC. But you know that I think the most special memory that I got, an interview that I did, was actually with Matt Tees. I spent 2 hours with Matt and he told me about his whole football career, from the moment he played schoolboy football in Glasgow to the moment that he signed for Grimsby Town and subsequently played for Charlton and for Luton. He played with Malcolm MacDonald at Luton, and he obviously talked very fondly about that fantastic Exeter match, last match of the season at Blundell Park with nearly 23,000 people in the ground. That was really special.
Great, that's great. And also, you've talked a lot about different sports, and you know, F1 you mentioned there as well. Is there any kind of really unique sport that you've picked up on, or any kind of memory that's come out from there?
The mixture of sports has just been incredible. One of the first memories that we got was actually from a lady called Angela Mortimer, who won the Wimbledon ladies singles title in 1961. But the memory she shared was playing at Wimbledon in 1952 against little Mo Connolly, who was one of the greatest American tennis players and tragically died at a young age. But that memory got published and Martina retweeted it. And the world just got very, very interesting at that point.
And you mentioned before about the England Rugby Club that you're working with. That's obviously such a massive project this year in particular. Yep. Tell us how you got involved in that and what's come from that.
We went down to Twickenham and met with the RFU, who saw the value in what we do in terms of connecting generations and celebrating the history and the heritage of the game. And what better year to kick off a project celebrating memories. And it's fair to say Johnny Wilkinson has been mentioned a few times already.
Can't imagine that. Can't think why.
But we're working with the young rugby ambassadors and working with rugby union clubs across England to connect generations and getting younger squad members, not only interviewing first team members, but working with previous players and the senior members of the club to learn a bit about the background of where their clubs actually came from and the history of it. But it also gives the older members a chance to tell their stories, and the younger kids really do enjoy it.
That's great. And Dan, I just wanted to ask you as well, what your standout memory is as a kid. Is it football? Is it another sport?
I've got two really, both from the year 1998. Obviously, being a Grimsby Town fan, you can't be a Town fan and not remember Wembley '98. You know, I was there for the Auto Windscreen Shield final at Wembley against Bournemouth, and that is something that I'll always remember. And the other one is from Rugby League. My favourite club, Wigan Warriors, won the first ever Super League Grand Final in 1998. And I just remember Jason Robinson's try from the touchline against Leeds at a rain-soaked Old Trafford being one thing that I'll also never forget.
Brilliant. And it's so nice to have two different memories as well, but obviously from the same year, so you need to create more memories.
Well, yeah, exactly.
And just very quickly, Tony, if people want to follow you on Twitter or Facebook, how can they get in touch with you?
Yeah, the website's Sporting Memories Network, and there's links to our Twitter account, which is SportsMemNet. The Facebook page is Sporting Memories Network, and just do a Google search and we'll come up.
There you are, and they can put their favourite memories on there.
Yes, please.
That's great, thanks very much. Well, that's all we have time for tonight. Thank you very much to Tony Jameson-Allen for joining us on the bench, and to Dan Barker, and thanks to you at home for watching. And we want to hear your news and views on social media, so look out for us on Facebook and Twitter. And if you want more football discussion, you can catch On the Bench Extra on Saturdays at 10 on Estuary TV. Goodbye.